So the bottom line is that bail-ins are the name of the game now, not bailouts. And I think that's when we see things really get crazy. When people say, my God, where do we put our money? And that's when everything like that disappears. And it goes from being flush to not, just like that, just that fast. And the people who get upset when silver falls don't understand it. It's happening slowly, methodically. They're doing it the right way. Those being insolvent. Do you know that we're 130% debt to GDP? And if you go back through history, never has there been a country in history that has not defaulted once they get to 130%.
Yeah. In the entrancing dialogue with Andy Schectman, CEO of Miles Franklin, a profound narrative unfolds amid the intricate dance of economic intricacies and global uncertainties, as gold maintains its stoic strength, serving as a financial bastion against mounting debts and a slowing global economy. Schectman unveils a fascinating twist in buyer profiles. Gold sales surge, capturing the attention of newcomers seeking sanctuary in a world marred by geopolitical tensions. Yet, amidst this gold-centric narrative, Schectman unveils the nuanced perspective of those in the know. For them, silver emerges as a strategic linchpin, a silent guardian against the chaos, its demand unwavering in the face of uncertainty. Schectman, the industry sage, delves into the global stage, revealing gold's triumphant ascension to unprecedented heights in economic powerhouses like China and Japan. However, this isn't merely a financial discourse. It's a conversation steeped in genuine concern for a world on the precipice. Schectman, with a palpable sense of apprehension, contemplates the possibility of a seismic event that could reshape the precious metals landscape, altering the very fabric of premiums and availability. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications bell to get more videos of financial geniuses like Andy. And please check our pinned comment to get free $20 just for creating an account with Bybit, the official sponsor of this channel. Let's get into the video.
We will see things very, very, I think things will unfold very, very quickly from this point forward as it pertains to sides being chosen, alliances that will be formed. I think there's a lot more to meet the eye. That there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. And although we can't see it right now, I think within the next few months we will start to see a lot of things accelerate away from the dollar, away from the West, and I think this country is not in position to handle what that really means because we are so massively in debt. We have so little in terms of assets. We are spread so thin. We are a divisive country who is not united anymore with one another. We are at each other's throats about everything, even about this war. Is it Israel's fault? Is it Palestine's fault? But whose fault is it? And it's weird that you even have to say this after all of these years that people wouldn't support Israel. This isn't a political thing. This isn't a Jewish thing. This is just, look at the way, there should be rules of war. And that's why very often I'm early. I've been saying, there was a time in 2019, late 2019, 2020, where I'm the only person out there talking about the BRICS. My wife grabs me by the ear and says, you're saying the same shit over and over and over again. I said, but no one is talking about it. Exactly. It's so important. Look at what's happening. And now everyone talks about it. Right. I wasn't talking micro back then. I was talking a big picture, de-dollarization, the rise of the Belt Road, the reclassification of gold. And now all these countries joining together, buying gold and repatriating it. Something big is happening here. Yeah, the micro, you could look at each one of these pieces, but to me, you take those pieces and put them together and they say a much bigger thing. And the people who get upset when silver falls don't understand it, or they own it for the wrong reasons. Right. And you have a little girl, she's just a few years old, and if I were you, I would be accumulating silver every chance I get and hope to heaven I never need to use it. If I do, not just for an emergency, could be a hell of an opportunity maybe. Maybe it's to put your kid through college. Maybe it's to pay for a wedding. Maybe who knows what it's for. Silver and gold are two of the only forms of insurance that you can collect on without an event happening. You don't have to get into a car wreck or watch your house burn down. You can collect on it for an opportunity or an emergency. And if not, you are leaving a lasting legacy for your heirs. That's how I feel about it. And if you look at it in that micro perspective, oh, geez, it's down 50 cents today. Yeah, it can be frustrating. It can be disheartening, even for looking at through a macro perspective, because it's very counterintuitive to the way it should be. But ask yourself, if it's so counterintuitive to the way it should be, if the biggest money in the world is accumulating it while the 4 or 5 central commercial banks suppress the price, and we know that to be the case, then is it more important? Because why are they suppressing it? And why are the big sovereign governments around the world standing for delivery, draining the exchanges, playing?
In the intricate landscape of commodity investments, the perennial choice between precious metals like gold and industrial metals like copper often leaves investors at a crossroads. Silver, however, emerges as a compelling bridge, seamlessly blending the attributes of both categories into a singular investment vehicle. This precious metal, with its historical significance as currency and store of value, provides investors with a nuanced alternative to gold, especially for those with smaller budgets. Beyond its affordability, silver's abundance in the Earth's crust enhances its accessibility and potentially shields it from supply shocks and ensuing volatility. Moreover, silver's dual identity extends to its role in various industries, from electronics to renewable energy, imparting it with inherent value beyond its status as a precious metal. As a hedge against inflation, silver proves itself a viable counterpart to gold, positioning it as an astute investment choice amid economic uncertainties. The correlations to equities, treasuries, and currencies underscore silver's resilience in diversified portfolios, exhibiting a low correlation to stocks and bonds, while historically inversely tied to the US dollar. In a world that often poses the binary question of precious or industrial, silver emerges as the ideal answer, a versatile investment vehicle offering risk protection and mitigation across diverse market scenarios. The narrative around silver's demand outpacing supply further accentuates its potential, signaling a pivotal moment for investors to consider the untapped opportunities within this overlooked metal. Now we'll show you more clips of Andy Schectman and his valuable insights on the commodities markets. But first, subscribe and turn on notifications to let us know that you like the video.
Understands it because the price is misdirecting. Well, if it's such in short demand, man, then why is it so cheap? Why isn't the price going up? And that's why it's such an effective tool, because they are able to control people's emotions by controlling the price. And emotions are much more of a motivating factor to most people than logic is. And, we're motivated by fear and greed, and fear being the strongest motivator. So people come in because they're greedy and they want to make money. Oh, everyone's talking about this being so undervalued, and then it loses value. Counterintuitively, they get scared. They sell. Motivation is everything. And the people pulling the strings understand this. But what they really didn't count for when they started suppressing the price is that half of the world would say, fine, we'll play your game, but we'll stand for delivery. And that is why there is a shortage up on the large exchanges.
Yeah, COMEX.
But it doesn't register with people, because I am saying best availability, lowest premiums we've had in years. Well, it hasn't trickled down yet. It will. And I'm very consistent. When will it happen? I think it'll happen when the next bank failure happens and the bank is bailed in. And no one understands, very, very few people even understand what a bank bail-in is, but it was written into law in the Dodd-Frank Act. And maybe you could put a link to the Dodd-Frank Act in the show description. Go through it. Look at what it says about bailouts. They're illegal. And that's why there was such outrage when Silicon and Signature were bailed out, because evidently Janet Yellen thought they'd bring down the whole system. So the bottom line is that bail-ins are the name of the game now, not bailouts. And I think that's when we see things really get crazy. When people say, my God, where do we put our money? And that's when everything like that disappears. And it goes from being flush to not, just like that, just that fast. The BRICS Bank has officially announced a 3-year de-dollarization plan, and it's what they're going to do is lend and transact in local currencies until they come out with their common settlement currency. And this is being done to, I guess, diminish the number of transactions that are done in US dollars.
Right.
Again, you have Putin came out and said that he's calling for an alliance to reform the global finance system. The BRICS dumped 123 billion in U.S. treasuries over the past several months this year. You're talking China, Brazil, India, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. They're all dumping our bonds. Currently, BRICS now holds over 50% of the global oil production. And now you got Macron from France. Even our allies are saying that the world order is changing and the situation is getting more complicated, and which runs the risk of weakening the West and Europe in particular. He's saying that the Ukraine war is not Europe's war, they're also looking for it to be a trusted partner on the geopolitical front and to pick sides, no question about it. But look, you got Argentina, who now is joining. They're the largest producer of natural gas in South America, and they control the Straits of Magellan, the very important shipping lanes. You got Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Egypt, and Iran with the oil production and the Straits of Hormuz. You're talking the fastest growing economy in Africa with Ethiopia. Well, these are the new countries that have joined. There are 22 countries that have already expressed interest in joining next year. It's happening slowly, methodically. They're doing it the right way. And that's kind of the problem here, is that people expect things to happen too quickly.
What's your opinion on today's show? Post in the comments section down below your honest opinion of what's going to happen to gold and silver in 2024. Thank you for watching the video till the end and being a strong supporter of the HTZ community. You're the backbone of our success, and our journey is your journey too, since we're all looking forward for a substantial revaluation of our gold and silver bags. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure to share it with your friends, as everything helps with the algorithm.